Now, could life return to normal soon without the need to wear masks? Health Minister Dr. Joe Phahla has recommended that COVID-19 regulations be lifted. He says masks and restrictions on gatherings are no longer necessary with low COVID-19 infections and deaths. Officials are meeting today to discuss these recommendations. Let's speak now to the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa, Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa. Thank you very much, Mr. Tshivhengwa, for your time here on eNCA. Now, I can imagine that the tourism industry is excited at the possibility of these regulations finally being lifted.
No, indeed. I think that, this is the last part of the restrictions that we have been advocating for to be removed so that we can go back to some level of normalcy within the subsector of tourism. If you look at the events and conferencing and also sporting tourism, has been constrained because of the capacity that they could not, go over. So if we can be able to deal with the issue of capacity and make sure that, we have a full capacity, and we can deal with issues of masks, I think we will be doing something right, and we should be able to move into another level of managing the pandemic. And I think it will be welcome news for us, and it will, speed up the recovery of tourism here in South Africa.
Can you give us a figure, if possible, Mr. Tshivhengwa, in terms of how much the tourism industry has lost because of the implementation of these regulations?
Well, we have lost a lot of, revenue that we could have gained since, we announced the end of the state of the nation, not the state of the nation, but the disaster management. We have said in the past that, if we don't open the eventing industry and if we don't make sure that the sporting industry continues to operate in the way it used to operate pre the pandemic, we will see some losses. It's going to take a long time to quantify exactly how much that is. We're going to see it when we look at the potential benefit that we're going to get now when we have the conferencing and events coming back on track. And we're going to also see how many people are going to be able to move around the country for sporting events, for conferencing, for exhibitions, and many other things that requires people to attend in large numbers. If you look at, for example, at Durban July, if you say you can only take X number of people, and the venue, pre-pandemic can take more people than that, and the revenue is much higher. It simply means that we're going to see higher occupancy rate now in hotels in Durban. We're going to see a lot more people doing more activities in various venues. That means that our revenue levels are going to increase, and therefore, that goes down well with getting more people back at work, impacting the economy, and also hiring new staff and also using more entrepreneurs to deliver these services. It's also important for the informal side of tourism businesses that when we have more people going to stadiums, more people going to events and conferencing, and, be it music events, there are many people who come from the informal side of tourism who cook food, who sell, who are able to feed their families. We need to make sure that when we consider all these things, we look at it from formal and informal, and we make sure that we come up with the right decisions that are going to impact the economy. This will go down, very, very well in our industry. If we get these restrictions removed, we're going to get many people back at work, and of course, many entrepreneurs doing what they do best.
And, we all know how much we actually do need, companies to be able to employ people again and people to be able to work again. I mean, consumer inflation going up to 6.5%, an announcement a little earlier on. But also this speaks to how it will assist in the aviation industry as well.
No, absolutely. We definitely assist in the aviation industry. We need more people flying. Of course, we still have a gap when it comes to the capacity that we've lost due to Comair, taking out British Airways and Kulula. Hopefully, more and more airlines increase capacity so that, we don't have constraints, from the, aviation side. We're starting to see this constraint, with people flying from Cape Town via East London to come to Johannesburg. We need to be able to add, the capacity. And with the restrictions being, considered right now by, Cabinet and the relevant authority to be done away with, I think that there's going to be more people flying, there's going to be more conferencing. Then we need more airlines, to put aircrafts in the air We need the Air Services Licensing Council to issue more licenses to those that want to fly within the region and also here in South Africa to make sure that the capacity is increased. I think it's very important that we keep this going. There is a momentum on the system, and if we do this right, and if we remove the restrictions, that momentum is going to be boosted, and we will see far higher pace of recovery in the tourism sector than what we've seen in the past.
All right, Tshifhiwa, thank you so much for your time here on All Angles. That was Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa, the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa.